Live the Goals Podcast, your place for motivation, life lessons, and laughter. Don't settle for wandering through a mundane life. Instead, let us help you reach your goals and live a fulfilling life doing what you love. Our guests know what it's like to live with purpose and laugh along the way. Warning, if you're a stick in the mud, you definitely need to stick around. Loosen up your ties, kick off your high heels, and let's get to it with your host, Dale Richardson.
All right, friends and family, we're back with Live the Goals podcast, and today we've got a great guest for you. Today's guest is Trevor Crane, and Trevor is a 10-time #1 international best-selling author and the founder of Bestseller Big Business Publishing. Trevor is also the host of GreatnessQuest.com podcast and the founder of thegreatnessnetwork.com. Trevor helps his clients generate millions of dollars in bottom line profits. I love it, Trevor. And his mission is to help people take their life and their business to the next level, no matter how successful they already are. As a highly sought after speaker, trainer, and coach, Trevor's unique common sense approach, along with his humor, wit, and infectious energy, allows him to connect with any audience. If you haven't seen it already, if you don't know already, then you're not watching. Trevor, are you ready to help us set and reach goals that matter?
Dude, I don't know if I can listen to all that without moving. I'm trying to act it out. I saw something on America's Got Talent recently, and there was this kid that was doing some breakdancing, a robot, and I'm like, I can't do anything, man. It's pitiful. Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, brother, and I can't wait to talk about this awesomeness that we're going to get into today.
Trevor, that is my first interpretive intro. That's the first intro I've done with an interpretive dance.
Yeah, not that awesome. I think my white boyness got it.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Trevor, we're already laughing. I've given them kind of your by the book bio. I'd love for you to just share a little bit more about who you are, man.
So it's, there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say it's awkwardness, but it's weird to have somebody like saying, look how awesome he is and he's done this. And my team helped me write that, so it makes me look awesome. I don't know if it made me look awesome or not, especially the interpretive dance. I don't know that contributed, but I grew up the son of a horseshoer in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know if your listeners know this or not, but that's not the most lucrative job in the world. My dad, basically a horseshoer, is somebody who's squatting like they're sitting on a porta potty, but not. And they're holding a horse's foot, and a horse weighs about 2,000 pounds, and that's what he did every day. It's like lifting horses, right?
Right.
And then every tool you have is sharp, and the horse is constantly trying to kick you in the face or bite you or eat you or poop on you or whatever it is. So, and our household, I grew up poor. I felt like all my friends had more money than me because they did.
Right.
And so, I grew up thinking this sucks and I wish I had a little bit more. So I tried hard in school, even though I wasn't the brightest crayon in the box. And I think I probably look like I'm gigantic on this video right now, but I'm not the tallest dude in the world. I'm not the smartest dude in the world. I'm not the buffest dude in the world. And so, I had to work harder, I think, than other kids. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like I did. But I did well enough in school thinking, man, if I do this, I can be successful in business. And I'm sure your listeners, I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm thinking you probably do, that college doesn't exactly hook you up to succeed. Go out there and you're like, woohoo, I have everything I need to be successful in business.
Yeah.
So I struggled. And what I found was that if you found the right mentor, you could have it dialed in. Like the number one thing I learned was hiring people for help and finding the right mentor, though. Like just finding somebody to coach you wasn't it.
Right.
It was finding, I think, the measure of the mentor. When I hired my first mentor, he helped me go from my first professional mentor would be key.
Yeah.
And my measure of that is that your mentor gets phenomenal results for their clients, not just somebody who's good at something. You know, somebody who's good at something is kind of, they're so freaking awesome and skilled. It's like, that doesn't mean they know how to communicate it to another person.
Yeah.
I'm interested in are their clients getting phenomenal results? And that's how I pick them. The gentleman I'm talking about now helped me go from 10 grand a month to over 80 grand a month in under 5 months.
Wow.
Funny enough, what I now do is help people with a similar type of transformation. And that's been my core now for a while. You mentioned the books and the publishing company. I'm passionate about that because I think it's a shortcut, and it builds instant credibility and authority, and it's how I help people leverage and 10x their income. And I'm going to ask everybody right now to just do me a favor. And I don't know if you've ever thought of having a book before, but as long as you're not driving in your car, do me a favor, close your eyes for a second. And if you are driving in your car, keep your eyes open.
I'll do it too.
One eye. And then write down or imagine this number in your mind. What's the most money you've ever made? Like in a year, let's say. Maybe it's this year. Maybe it's last year. Maybe it's a while ago. What's the most money you've ever made? I don't care. Let's say it's 30 grand. Let's say it's 80 grand. Let's say it's 200 grand. Add a zero to that number and tell me if that zero, if that was your income, if that put a smile on your face. How would that do for you, Dale?
That would put a big smile on my face.
So the first year my wife and I published a book, we added a zero to our income.
Wow.
And that's why I geek out on it, because it crystallizes your message and it turns the conversation around to where if it's done right. Now, you need the right book. There's a lot of authors out there that don't know, like, what on? How do you make a best-selling book, and how on? Where'd that money come from?
Right.
My wife just launched her book, and I'll give you an example. So this is my wife's book. When she pre-launched it, this is her 4th best-selling book, by the way. And that was probably pretty fast. It's called Make More Money, Help More People.
Yeah.
And it's for women. It's a female entrepreneur's guide to attracting ideal clients, closing more sales, and increasing your revenue. Quite frankly, I think that's what a book does for people. But let me share with you. My wife launched this book on Amazon. Woohoo! And the day she launched it, she told the world, my book is coming out. So everybody imagine that happening for yourself. And your book's coming out, and that's awesome, right? Somebody found my wife, and they saw Amazon goes, wow, people are getting your book. Let's promote you and your book. So check this out. People don't know this. I know you didn't ask Dale, but I know that you have people who are professionals that want more, right?
Absolutely.
I know people, are entrepreneurs, and you're like, how can I get more clients? Well, check this out. How'd you like to partner with $1 billion company who goes, let me promote you? So then you do this properly, and then they go ahead and they put your name out there. So one girl's name is Mary. She didn't give me permission to say this. So let's just call her the Virgin Mary, because we'll call it a fictional story. But it's awesome. Okay, so she found my wife. She wanted to work with her, and she found my wife because Amazon was promoting her and saying, look at this hot new book. Found my wife, said, I want to hire you. Hired my wife for a strategic planning session. Then came to one of our events. We just had an event this last weekend. Said, this event seems so awesome. Robin, you seem so awesome. I want to bring my girlfriend. They both came to this event. Then my wife has a higher level program, offered it to them. They go, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? I want to buy this. My wife gave her book away that day for $1. Because people were like, how can I make money with the book, right? It's not about the book. The book is the beginning. Right. The back end. That $1 book that my wife gave away, I think she might make 17 cents or something when she finished her split with Amazon. Right. Made my wife over $26,000 so far.
Yeah. I think people are missing all the opportunities that the book leads to, right? And I want to back way up and just talk about something that you mentioned that I do think is really important. And I think it's an interesting concept that people miss sometimes. You were talking about hiring your first mentor and the difference between somebody who might be great, fantastic, awesome at it versus somebody who can get you to become great, fantastic, awesome at it. And, I always use the analogy of, people like Michael Jordan's, right? And I'm not saying he is or isn't, but people like a Michael Jordan, they may or may not be the best coach because it might just come natural to them, right? I mean, they've done it, absolutely. But then you've got some guys that they maybe played whatever that sport is. They may have done well, but they're not a Michael Jordan. And they are phenomenal coaches. And so like you're saying, the ability to make sure that that vibe is there with you and the coach, like you said, not the first coach. You don't just go to the first coach because you happen to meet somebody, but that mentor that connects with you, right? That voice is speaking to you and you're getting productivity out of that. What do you think people, other than that, what do you think maybe is a mistake people make when they're looking for like that mentor or that coach?
A mistake, in my opinion, is not choosing one.
Right.
And thinking you have time to waste. Time to wait. But I don't know about you, Dale. I think you're younger than I am based on our facial features and the lack of hair.
Well, I got the same thing going on.
I'm from the future, though. My hair is just turning transparent. So, you get older, man, and it goes by faster. I had a 15-year-old kid yesterday, helping me move boxes.
Yeah.
We're going to move right now. And he's like, man, this year's gone faster than ever. And I'm 45 now, to drop that little nugget.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm thinking to this 15-year-old kid, I'm like, it gets faster, man.
It gets so much faster.
It gets faster. My daughter's 10 now. And my daughter, by the way, well, I'll brag about her in a second. But it goes faster and you have no time to waste. I'm sure we all, there was a whistle there. I'm sure we all have someone that we know that we love and care about that has had something unfortunate happen. They've had a health challenge of one thing or another. You never know when you're going to get hit by a bus. You never know when a bug is going to get you. You never know what the problem is. You have no time to wait, and it's costing you money. If we just were conservative, let's say that even every month that goes by that you don't have the right mentor helping you create success, it's costing you. And if money's not your thing, then it's costing you in happiness and enjoyment or whatever that challenge or problem is that you've got. I mean, I rarely get somebody that comes to me and says, you know what, where I want to be next year is right where I'm at. I don't want anything to change. Now, it does happen. I'm living I have an awesome life right now, but I know it's going to get better, and there's so much more I want. You're either growing or you're dying, and if you're not pushing yourself to grow and get to that next level, and I know your listeners know this, they're like, dude, shut up, I get it, but I think that's the problem, is that we think we can wait instead of taking action now. Hire the dude.
Yeah.
Go to the gym. And fired up, friggin' find a way to get fired up.
Yeah, sometimes it is that fear of getting outside of that comfort zone that scares people. But I do talk about the fact that, I get afraid about what I'm not going to do if I don't jump out of that comfort zone, right? Like all this stuff that I could be doing, all this success that I could have, that next level that I could get to, if I let this fear of failure or just getting out of my comfort zone stop me, I start getting nervous about that. I get afraid about, like what you said. I get afraid about dying in my comfort zone, right? I get afraid about the fact that I'll be on my deathbed and I'll say, I wish that I had, and it will be a lot of things that were easy to do, right? And so sometimes it's about shifting fear. Yeah.
Can I interject here? Because I want everybody to hear what you just said, because it's cool. You said, sometimes I pretend like I'm on my deathbed. And I think about, you said something like, you said you're reflecting on what I might regret. So what that is doing is you are trying to add fire.
Yeah.
Now you're saying, hold on. I know I need to grow. What do I want in the future? What might I regret? How can I add some pressure to right now so that it can get my butt up to do the right thing, whatever that is. Go to the gym, make the phone call, hire someone, get some freaking help. A lot of people think, here's another one that mistake people make, is that they think they need to do it themselves. They think they need to listen to a podcast like this, go on YouTube to YouTube it on the how to, download the ebook, pay somebody $27, whatever it is, for their little online course, and they think that they're supposed to figure it out themselves. Like, that is the biggest load of bunk. I mean, yeah, it's you can. It's a very difficult process.
Yeah.
Why not get some freaking help? I mean, what happens is most people are climbing. I call it, I have this thing about ladders, right? Like people climb ladders and you climb, everybody's been on a ladder before, and at the bottom it feels nice and comfortable. You're like on the ladder and you're like, okay, hey, I'm good. You go up a couple of steps, no problem. What happens when you get high on the ladder? Well, at least your mother-in-law comes out, oh, I don't know, it's not safe up there. And you don't feel like it's safe. The wind is blowing. You're like, hey, is somebody holding that ladder down there?
Yeah.
We're on our ladder to success. And success, unfortunately, or whatever that next level is a little higher on the ladder. It's beyond the clouds, man.
Yeah.
And the challenge is we're up there and we're like, oh, I don't know, it doesn't feel comfortable, man. Maybe I should climb down a couple of rungs. And then we look over and we're like, there's another ladder. Maybe I should just jump down here. This is too hard. This is too dangerous up here. I don't know if I trust it. I'm going to trust my mother-in-law and the people telling me maybe you shouldn't. I don't know if you should climb higher. It might be dangerous for you. You might fall. And you're like, you might fall. And you jump down, it's going to be safe. And you get on a new ladder and you're like, I'm home. This feels good, man. I feel comfortable. I've done this before. And you climb up. And then same thing happens. Watch it. Don't get too high. And you're like, I'm not sure. And you can't see the future. You're like, I don't know. How am I going to get there? How am I going to do this all myself? And someone down there is saying, I don't know if it's right. And you look over and you're like, man, that other ladder I was on before, that looks like a good ladder. Maybe I should go back over there. Hold on. The grass is greener over there. Look at that ladder. Those ladders look better than this one. So then they climb down. They jump down. Too many ladders. And what people don't know is that there's angels up in the clouds, man. And they're reaching down, and they're like, they're like, please come to me, please, Jesus, come to me. Like, we're here. I want to help you. And then you can just take their freaking hand, and then they'll help you get the result you want. Instead of thinking you got to trudge through it, man, I got to do it myself. I'm talking about books. I was just bragging about my wife. See that? Bragging about my clients' results. Because I like to be somebody's mentor. So I tell you the story of how I've helped other people, which gives people, maybe he knows what he's talking about. And if I wanted a book, maybe he could help them too. But everybody needs help.
Yeah.
People think they're going to write a book and they're like, well, dude, I don't know how to write. I'm not intelligent. I got this problem. Brother, I filed a $2.2 million bankruptcy, Dale. When that happened, I lost everything. I lost my houses. Okay, by the way, when you lose your house, that means you're homeless.
Yeah.
I was homeless, right?
Yeah.
My daughter, I had a 2-year-old daughter, and the woman I was in love with left the state, man. I had my cars repossessed. I thought no one would ever trust me ever again. I thought I was a worthless piece of dog leavings, okay? Yeah. I couldn't take and so I don't understand. I've been 15 years old, like I was the guy in my car the other day. I understand feeling fear, but you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You can use a team to write your book. My wife wrote her book in 30 days. Less than 30 days. She got clarity. We had about 5 to 10 different people work on this book for her. It's like building a house, you know? We were talking, you talk about Michael Jordan. There's a friggin' team there, man. I don't care how cool he is. I don't care who you like in sports, man. I mean, even in tennis.
There's still other players there, right?
You know, but they had a team of people that helped make them awesome. Serena Williams had a freaking team of people.
They all have coaches. Yeah, they all have coaches to get better. They may be the best in the world, and they've got coaches to get better. You know, it's funny because I have been there before. I've been that person that says, I can do this, right? I can do this all myself. Let me get the book. The exact formula you said. Let me watch some YouTube videos. I was looking at this stuff online. And Trevor, let me tell you, after a while, hopefully, it hits you that amount that I was refusing to pay, how much was my time worth? How much was my time worth? And now I absolutely will pay. If there's something new I'm doing, I'm paying somebody to help me through this. And then I'll get, like you said, you'll get friends that will say, you paid what? Yeah. But you know what? It's getting done. And it's done. And then when it's done, you talk about how great it is. But when I try to do it on my own, Trevor, I can be that person to attest to the fact that it is so much extra time, energy, effort. And I'm just lying to myself if I think the value's not there to pay somebody who has done it or who can walk me through it and save me time to do it. And so that was funny when you mentioned that, because I was like, that has been me. And you get to this mind shift where I remember, like, I went through law school, and I remember talking to some folks that would have coaches, and back then I was like, man, who pays for it? Like, what are you talking about? What is that about? Right? I mean, I'm complete 180 right now. But now when somebody tells me what they're paying for their coach, and I meet people that are much more successful than me, and they're telling me what they're paying for their coaches, I have the complete opposite reaction now. Instead of kind of thinking like, oh my God, why would you pay that much? You can get a coach for X amount. Why would you pay that much? I now think, I can't wait till I get to the point where I'm paying my coach that much, right? Because a good coach, I'm not throwing the money around, but I can't wait till I get to the point where the coach I need is at that level. And so I think it's a mind shift of understanding the value of what you're getting and your time and your life, right? Man.
Well, you've got, well said. But I'm going to call BS on you.
Okay.
What people are thinking. They're thinking, sounds good, brother, but I don't have the money. I'm not like you. I can't afford it. That's what I used to
think.
I get it, but I'm just telling you, there are listeners right now, and they're like, I don't know that it sounds awesome, but how do you do it, dude? Like right now, Dale,
I can't afford it.
I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Why aren't you paying $1 million a year for coaching? Can't afford it. The only reason why you don't have something is your story about why you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the thing is that I think I would challenge most people that if you don't have the money, that's why you need it.
Yeah.
There are ways to get resourceful, dude, and gals. Get resourceful. Figure out a way. I have many times been in a situation where I needed help and I needed to pay for it and I didn't have the money. Many times. We could go on for stories and stories. You find a way. You ask for help. You commit to doing it no matter what. I'm reading a book right now on Elon Musk, and he's the founder of Tesla now. At least there's a little drama about how that whole party got started, but we like Tesla, man. And that guy had such focus and vision about what he wanted. He overcame significant obstacles, many more obstacles than most of us have to deal with, to go ahead and create a result. If you want it bad enough, you can find a way to make it happen. Instead of making excuses, you can have results or you can have excuses. You get to choose.
And I want to expand on that some, right? Because I completely agree on the fact that, I believe in the saying that, there's no lack of resources, just a lack of resourcefulness, right? If you want something bad enough, and I've experienced that. So, I was in a situation where, I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to buy lunch tomorrow or put gas in my car. And, 10 months later, I'm opening up a franchise that costs $40,000 and then another 20-30 to get up and running. I didn't have the money at the time that I came up with putting that down as a potential goal. So, but I want to make sure that people don't mishear some of what we're saying, right? And think this is kind of like head in the sky type stuff. I am a realist as well, right? You don't go through school being an engineer and an attorney without having that, being that anal realist, whatever you want to call it. There are steps to it, Trevor, right? You don't have, if you don't have the resources, if you truly don't, I think some of us lie to ourselves about what resources we have. But I've been in a place where I haven't had resources, so I get that some of us are there at certain points. That doesn't mean you have to go from step 1 to step 10. Find the resources to get to step 2. Find the coach that's right at that level that you can get to, right? You don't have to get that $100,000 coach, $10,000 coach. Find the resources. There's something out there that can get you to that next step. And so I kind of wanted to add that in as well, because I think we're in agreement here that that people may have heard that and said, well, I can't do it, right? But whether you're lying to yourself or it's real, I think what you're telling yourself is not the right thing. The question is really, how do I figure out a way to make this happen? And if I got to take a couple steps to get there, what's that first step? And how do I figure out the ways to do that?
I got nothing to say. Awesome. Yes.
Well, Trevor, we are now wrapping up. So I've got to put you on the hot seat. You ready for the hot seat scenario?
Give it to me. Bring it.
Let's do it. So you've got to choose one of these two people to switch lives with, and then you're going to have to give me just a step or two to get them in the right direction, right? So just what are those first couple things you're going to do to get yourself pointed in the right direction? All right, so person A is somebody who is living check to check, works about 40 to 50 hours a week, comes home feeling kind of spent, and then just sits in front of either the TV or, social media for 2 or 3 hours, just vegging out and decompressing. Then you've got person B, who is somebody who is working night and day. I mean, literally feels like he's waking up, going to work, eating at work, do everything's at work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, do it all again. But he's living with a substantial income, whatever you want to call that income, whether it's 100,000, 200,000, he's comfortable, but feels like he has no extra time in his day. Neither one of these people feel like they're fulfilled in what they're doing. They know they've got to change something. They don't want to continue living the way they're living. So the question is, which person are you going to swap lives with, and what are the first couple steps you're going to take to get this turned into the right direction?
So I'm going to call him a dude because I'm imagining myself as a dude instead of a gal. So let me see, because that'd just be weird for me to say. All right, so one of them is working 9 to 5 and struggling to get by financially.
Yes.
And they're vegging out.
Yes.
When their private time, they're just kind of, they're relaxing and eating bonbons and watching sitcoms.
There you have it.
Okay? And then the other one is hustling and making good money, but not getting to the next level. Right. The no-brainer. I'd rather go with the dude who's hustling and not getting to the next level. It's so one's taking the action and one's not. One's content to sit there and just give it lip service and maybe go cry themselves to sleep at night all on their own and look at something inappropriate on the internet. You know what I'm talking about. And then that's their life, right? And the other one is hanging it out there. The one that's got the commitment to do something, all they need is the tiniest little bit of direction. That's it. Because here's what happens. And the freedom is so freaking close. Because both of them are on this trajectory, basically. You're like, all right, this is where they are. This is X marks the spot. And as they look into their future, they're doing the same thing over and over. One's doing one thing, one's doing the other.
Yep.
First of all, and they say money won't buy happiness, but if you got a little bit of extra money, whatever that one was, you can, still buy, organic food. You can still buy something nice for yourself. So I think that's cool. If I have a choice to be just barely friggin' getting by or making a little bit extra money, I'd rather have the little bit extra money. I can at least give it away to somebody. Here's a sandwich. Make me happy.
Right.
So now here's what happens. One of them says, both of them are unhappy. I heard you say that. I get it. They're both know that they could get more. But I say be the unicorn. Be the person who doesn't make the excuse and just make a 1 degree shift. 1 degree. Just 1 degree. All you gotta do is just shift something, a little bit, but be consistent and congruent. And what happens over time is wherever this future is, you're in a different place. You made a small shift. You went to the seminar. You bought the program. You opened the program. You completed the program. Whatever it is, be consistent. One of the things that happened to me years ago, I told you that did I mention I filed a bankruptcy?
You did, yeah.
I get confused about all the stories that I tell sometimes. So I lost everything, and that really sucked. And when I was trying to build my life back, there was a book I was reading. I don't have it in my shelf right here, so I'm not going to grab it. There's a book I was reading that challenged me about discipline. And it asked me a question about discipline, and it was defining it. And it freaked me out, brother, because I didn't like discipline. I don't want anybody telling me what to do. Like one of my my values is freedom. And I thought discipline was a lack of freedom. I thought I didn't want myself telling me what to do. So I had this phrase I would tell myself. And I would brag about it to other people. I'd be like, I'm consistently inconsistent.
Right.
I thought that sounded cool. And I didn't like the word discipline. I took it out of my vocabulary because I didn't want anybody telling me what to do. I could commit to things for a short period of time, but then I would do them and I'd flake afterward. Whether it was diet, nutrition, relationships, business, you name it, I had this pattern. And when I was asked the question about discipline, I realized that I didn't even know what it meant. So this is how smart I am. It took me about a week to figure out what discipline meant. And I'm not a complete moron. Like I could Google it. I could read about it in the book, but I didn't know what it meant to me, like what my meaning was going to be. So after about a week, I realized that my definition of discipline meant every day. Because it's not like I hadn't had any success and I was just this big loser. It was just I refused to be consistent.
Right.
And I thought that was a good thing. And it's not a good thing. Deciding to make that shift. Was it the dude that's out there hustling of those two guys?
Yeah.
The one who was hustling just needs a little shift. Often not a lot. And what I decided was I needed discipline in my life and I needed to have something represent that. So I decided, what could I do that helps me, serves other people, and like serves the greater good, that I could be consistent with every single day. And so what I came up with was exercise. And I'm looking at my phone right now while I'm talking to you about this so I can be specific. Today, so I decided to exercise every day.
Okay.
Today is 2,406 days that I have exercised every single day.
Wow. Wow.
And I don't know what the years is on that, but it's more than a couple.
Yeah.
But everything has shifted in my life. Financially, my wife and I have more abundance than we've ever had. I'll share with you, my wife had 1,000-time increase in her coaching business in the last 2 years.
That's awesome.
She went from $500 in her coaching practice in 2014 to doing $500,000 in her coaching practice in 2016. That's not all the income that she earns, but that's from that part of her business. That's a pretty sizable. My daughter and everything is awesome. My daughter's 9 years old. She's a #1 best-selling author.
That's
with
awesome.
9 books.
That is
She's
so
a 9-time #1 best-selling author. She wrote her first book when she was 7 years old. My health, my energy, my connection with my creator, everything is at its top. We decided dream-wise this year, we set big goals. We said we wanted this to be the best financial year of our lives professionally. But then we said we wanted to, we've been trying for 4 years to get pregnant, and it might be more than that. And we haven't had a baby. And we decided this year, we were going to make that a priority. We also decided that this year we were going to buy our dream house. Well, if I was to show you around on video right now, this house is an anarchy because I'm breaking it. We're selling this house to move into our dream house. Just found that house, bought it last week.
Awesome.
Moved to Florida from New Jersey, moving to Florida. I don't know if it's required. You're not allowed to move any place else. If you live in Jersey, you can only move to Florida. I think it's a law. If you don't. So moving to Florida, into our dream house, they've said that was the goal this year. Twice the size of this place, offices, extra rooms, pool, big backyard on this whole. Not to brag, dude, but it happened because I was the guy hustling my ass off, not getting ahead or failing, honestly, and didn't know what that one thing was. And to me, I needed to define the word discipline. I made a small commitment, 20 minutes a day. I'm not trying to be Arnold Schwarzenegger of workout awesomeness. I don't have abs chiseling out. I'm not a crazy person. Like one of my days of exercise each week is stretching. You know, I do yoga. I even count when I carried my daughter around at Disney World because my job is to be the best dad in the world. So I get all day. I'm like, dude, that was a workout, man. That counts.
Yeah.
That worked. So, and Dale, I've only just been allowed like the last couple of days to actually announce this. We just found out that we're pregnant.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
And I say we, more my wife than I am, but I probably have a little more donut than on my waistline. So, dude, I'd rather be the guy that's hustling already than just a little help.
Awesome. Awesome. And great. Oh, man, congratulations to you and your wife. That's exciting. Everything is right in sync right now. I love hearing that. Trevor, thank you. I appreciate you playing along for the hot seat scenario and giving us a lot of good info along with that. So we're at the end here. I want you to do 2 things to kind of take us out here. I would love for you to give us your contact information so that our friends and family can find a way to get in touch with you. And then a motivational quote or mantra, whether it's something you use on a regular basis or something you use when you're kind of, up against, you need a little bit of something to get you going. I'd love for you to share a motivational quote or mantra and your contact information with us.
I feel very passionately that your message matters. And yeah, I can see Dale's face right now, and I'm pointing at him, but I'm talking to you. Your message matters, and I think you should get your book out there. I don't care what you're into. I don't care if you work for someone else, if you work for yourself. I don't care if you're a single mom. I don't care. I don't know how old you are. Your message matters, and you should write a book. We're in a world where that positions your personal brand and authority, and it connects with people, and it tells your story, and it's influence, and it can change the world, and you don't want the regret of being on your deathbed and saying you haven't gotten it done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two of my free books. So those posters behind me right now, I'm an author and a publisher, and I teach people how to write a great book fast. My expertise is in helping you get your book done in 90 days or less, like from blank page to best-selling author in 90 days or less. And these posters are talking about writing a book, publishing a book, marketing a book, making money with the book. So if you go to trevorcrane.biz, B-I-Z, I'll give you my book. This is a brand new best-selling book called Make Big Money with Your Book Without Selling a Single Copy. Because it's not about your book. Like I just mentioned, my wife's new book had that whole business behind it. So I believe that you should have your mission, man, whatever it is that's important to you. And if you don't like big money, you're like, I'm not sure, I'm not into money. This guy's all money, money, money. Dude, money is an exchange of value for other people. Add big value for other people without, big mission. Go for that. But I'm going to give you my second book called How to Write a Great Book Fast. Because there's a lot of authors out there that will write a book, and it's a cute book, but it's not giving them what they want. So I think your mission should be first. I'll give you both books. Go to trevorcrane.biz, and I will send you a physical. You'll not only get an immediate download of it, but I will send you a physical copy. If you just review that sucker, send me a picture of you thought it was cool. If you think it sucks, I guess you can send me a picture of that too. Go on Amazon, tell me you loved it or whatnot. I guess you could say it sucked. I need haters too. So, hey, somebody that hates it, you got to go give me a bad review, because right now everybody loves them. What are you going to say? So, but I'll give you that book. Go to trevorcrane.biz. If you'd like to connect with me personally, go to trevorcrane.com, and I've got all my awesomeness there. My daughter and I are publishing books for children. We help children's book authors now, or kids become authors. And Dale, I'll give you another gift. My daughter's first book that she wrote when she was 7. All right. I'm feeling giddy right now. And
I love it. I love it. And I know my listeners are loving it.
Check this. My daughter wrote this book when she was 7.
Oh.
It's an 80-page book. She told the story. It's called The 3 Ninja Kitties.
How cute.
And I showed her how to hire an artist to help her do it. And she fired the artist because they changed the agreement. And she's like, I'm not doing it. She took her own money and went on and picked out, there's a whole story behind it. And this is her book. She did all the artwork for her book. She wrote this when she was 7. And
so cool.
A 9-time best-selling author. I'll give you this book for free. Go to superkidsbooks.com. And if you're super cool, send me a message. You can figure out how to do that. Use the Google. Look on my name. Figure out how to send me a message. I'll send you a free copy of my daughter's movie she made called Kid Wars. You get that as a movie if you go send me a message and say you want the movie, and I'll send you the link to get it for free.
Cool.
And quote. What's a real quote, though? I got one. This is what helped me through the worst times in my life. And it's simple. I'm going to give it to you in 3 words, and I'm going to read you a poem. I'm going to recite a poem.
Okay.
It's a question that I ask myself, and it is, what's the gift? It's assuming that there is a gift in this, even if it doesn't feel good and awesome right now. That there's a gift in it, even if you lose someone that you care about, even if you get fired, even if you get down in the dumps, even if things go bad, there is a reason for everything. When my wife and I tried to get pregnant several years ago, that year that my wife made $500, it was the first time we tried in vitro. And she was really, in vitro was like what you do to try to stimulate babies to come to the world, and it didn't work. And we were very bummed. But she just told a story this last couple of days about how it was one of the greatest gifts of her life. Because in that time frame, she's now worked with about 100 women entrepreneurs to help them explode their business. She did that 1,000-time increase in her coaching practice. She showcases those things in her book, and she was in tears saying that thank God that happened, because she never would have. She wanted the kids. She wanted us to get pregnant, but thank God she didn't, because she changed her health. She changed her mindset. She started shifting her business. She created phenomenal results for her ladies that she works with. And everything happens for a reason. So there was a gift. And so the poem, I wrote a poem about it called What's the Gift? And I wanted it to be my first book, but it wasn't my first book because I couldn't figure out how a dude could write a book about a poem that anyone would want to read. I didn't understand how to align it with my brand, but now I don't care. So if you want to get the book on that, you go to whatsthegift.com, and there's a book there. But the beginning of this poem, I was asking this question. I feel like this is a message that came from the ethers, if you believe in God or the universe or whatever. I woke up from a sleep. I sat bolt upright and I wrote this down. I changed one word in this poem from what I wrote down that first day.
Wow.
Thank you, God, for loving me and giving me the gifts I need. For every moment of every day, millions of miracles come my way. And in the morning when I rise, I see your love shining through my eyes. A reflection of you I see inside of me. Guided by love, I'll always be.
Wow.
I've elaborated on that poem, and it goes on for like 2 minutes. And if you go to whatsthegift.com, you can find out how to get that, and I'll send it to you as well. But every word there, brother, speaks to me. Thank you, God, for loving me. That's saying that I am loved, right? There was a time in my life when I thought the only unconditional love I ever got was from my dog. And when I lost her, I thought my life was over, and it was my fault that she got hit in traffic by a car. I don't own that still, but I mean, there was a lot of guilt around that I had to deal with. Thank you, God, for loving me and giving me the gifts I need. That everything is a gift. They're the ones I need. They're not always the ones that I want, but they're the gifts. Thank you, God, for loving me and giving me the gifts I need for every moment of every day. That's everyone is a gift.
Yeah.
At every moment of every day, millions of miracles. So I'm like, dude, it's a miracle that somebody made this cup.
Right.
That I got this, that this works, that these work, that millions of miracles that we can do this day come my way. And in the morning when I rise, made me feel good. In the morning when I rise, I see your love. That's God's love shining through my eyes. Like when I look in the mirror, when I look at you, that I see God's love shining through my eyes. I don't even know if it means me or you or the clouds or the stars. Or thank you, God, for loving me and giving me the gifts I need for every moment of every day. Millions of miracles come my way. And in the morning, when I rise, I see your love shining through my eyes. A reflection of you, God, which I believe is love. A reflection of you I see inside of me. Dude, if I get associate, that'll completely tear me up and break me up. And I see that potential inside of me. That every moment of every day, millions of miracles come my way. And in the morning, when I rise, I see your love shining through my eyes. A reflection of you I see inside of me. It's just that's anyway.
I love it, and that's true for all of us. I mean that poem, that is your poem that you wrote, but that is so true for each and every one of us. So that's a really powerful way for us to wrap this up, Trevor. Thank you for sharing that. Friends and family, he gave us a ton of ways to get in touch with them, as well as a bunch of freebies. As you know, I'll put links to all of those different freebies and websites and things like that in the show notes. So if you're in the car, we talked about that earlier. If you're in the car driving and you can't write it down right this second, one, you can listen back to it. We're not mad at that, but you can also just scroll down to the show notes and you'll see links to everything. Trevor, thank you for sharing all of this value, all these nuggets of knowledge, and pouring out your heart there too. To our friends and family. We really appreciate it. And friends and family, we look forward to seeing you on the next interview. And until then, remember to set goals that matter and live the goals you set.
Thanks for checking out the show today, and make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We hope you take away something that helps fill your life with purpose and laughter. And make sure you head over to LiveTheGoals.com for more info on guests and resources. Remember to set and reach goals that lead you to a life of purpose and passion.